Hey, and welcome back. We are the Phronesis Project. I'm Rick,
This is Lauren.
and we're here to give you a Marvel trailer roundup with Doctor Strange
Thor.
and Miss Marvel. We'll start off with Doctor Strange.
We tampered with the stability of space-time.
It seems like there's going to be a bunch of cameos in this movie.
So many cameos.
Right, and one of the people I'd love to see would be Blade.
Freeze! Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
I'd love to see Wesley Snipes, Midnight Sun style with Doctor Strange and them. They're fighters against the Darkhold, so it fits into the story. My only problem with that pick, would Marvel want to introduce Wesley Snipes as Blade when they have Marsha Ali's Blade lined up for I think next year?
I would like to see. I don't know. There's a lot of people I would like to see, but who really makes sense and is relevant? Ghost Rider, I think, would be really good.
Look into my eyes. Your soul is stained by the blood of the innocent. Feel their pain.
It gives us a lot in the trailers, but how it opens, maybe it's dream sequences and all that, but I think it'd be kind of bold for them to have an opening with Strange and Wong both dying, whether that's a dream or that's an alternate reality.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could set the tone for a movie that's probably one of the darker installments.
I like that you bring that up because I feel like with the song, the dream, 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 it plays really well. And then, he keeps, in all of the trailers, he talks about he's having these dreams, these bad dreams or whatever. He never says bad, but who doesn't feel terrified when you wake up from, something terrible like that? Dreaming of you and your best friend potentially being murdered or dying. But I throw a spin on it, an alternate reality or timeline. They open like that where they're dying, but they rewind, and it takes you back until the whole movie. So that's kind of and then you get that. You know what I mean?
We want to take time right here to also discuss how we potentially see the movie ending. And the one thing I could see them doing is maybe breaking down the multiverse and causing all the characters to now live in a singular timeline. Maybe the sacred MCU timeline, right? But I could see, Wanda, let's just say it's Wanda as a villain, and she really goes to town on all the people, and she lays waste to a lot of them, and is able to kind of get her wish, and it's granted.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and with Loki's show and the time variance and all of that going away, the ending of that show, it kind of, it left us kind of on a cliffhanger, so we don't really know what that is and what's gonna happen with that. So I feel like this is a good tie-in with that, the Loki show.
Obviously, you have a Doctor Strange watching, forget what her name, Rachel McAdams' character.
Yeah.
I can't help but think that Clea is coming. I'd love for her to be one of the bigger reveals in the movie that helps bail Strange out of a corner he puts himself in.
And Clea is his love interest in the comic books, historically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's a dream. I feel like because we get a lot of the trailers showing him waking up or looking into the broken watch, and it's a reflection of what's going on, broken dreams, right? So that's what's kind of going on in these bad dreams that he's having.
Yeah, and we have the Illuminati's potentially teased in the trailer as well. It's clear that Mordo is a part of it, but I'm just gonna go and fill out the roster. And Vin Diesel as Black Bolt, obviously the dreadlock Mordo. Michael B. Jordan as Black Panther. OG Professor X. I would like a crazy casting for Superior Iron Man, like a Leonardo DiCaprio, like a one-off kind of deal where he gets to just be in the movie for maybe 15 minutes. I don't know. Obviously, they've had Tom Cruise, and there's rumors of that.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see. Tom Cruise. He would be the best Tony Stark ever.
Right. So I know it's highly unlikely, but I think that'd be good. And to round it out, to have Monica Rambeau be present as a member of the Illuminati, given her powers.
I say it would be, Black Panther's sister. And then, like I said, Tom Cruise. And then Mr. Fantastic Four. Mordo. I think that's all I have for my picks.
You see some zombies. You see some of the what if Dark Strange, the evil Strange, and you wonder if they're pulling some of that from the success or actually the reaction from that what if series, and they're testing it out on the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, I feel like we get a lot of tie-ins to the What If episodes into this because there's so many things at play in the What If series that it can be brought into the Multiverse of Madness because there's so much going on. So they're like, okay, well, did these episodes do really well? And of course, everybody loves zombies, so we see a lot of zombies in there. We see Zombie Wanda, we see Doctor Strange zombie a couple of times. There's like a lot of phrases that are used in the trailers that are like, you know, condemning Doctor Strange. As what he done, you know what I mean, to mess with the multiverse or mess with the timeline. And it's Wong saying like, you open the door to different universes, we don't know who or what you're gonna like, what's gonna walk through. And I feel like with the zombies, like just seeing that's one thing, and then, you know, creepy Doctor Strange with the third eye, and you know what I mean, Defender Strange. Yeah, Defender Strange. So it's like we don't know who or what, and literally who, it's you, it's him, different variations of him, different variations of Wanda, because we see Wanda like on the edge, we see Wanda like, you break the world and you're a hero, when I do it I'm the enemy kind of thing. And I think that's like the biggest thing. I'm having a dream, but she's like, I'm having a nightmare, and like kind of like that crossover where he sees it one way, but she sees it a different way, you know?
I'd love to see a team of defenders built around that specific Strange, like Clea, maybe the OG Ghost Rider you were talking about, Nicolas Cage.
I loved that movie when I was a kid, yeah.
This version of Strange, and let's say Black Knight and Moon Knight, you know, just something funky. Like, I think it'd be cool, especially with the Moon Knight series currently airing,
which is so good, you know.
I'm not too familiar with the comics, so I'm sure they're straying away from a lot of the stuff that made that character pop. It's been different. I'm just excited to see if they're going to tie this thing in with the movie, because I'm hoping that's the attempt, you know, that they do something like this, that they cross it over. I don't always want to see, like, them build something up on a Disney Plus and then pay it off with, like, another series or another, special event movie or whatever the heck.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a good time to bring it in because there's so many different things going on in that too that we don't really know. So it's like with Doctor Strange, we don't know what's coming. So I feel like the more the merrier.
Yeah, and Wong in this movie, he's got that promotion. I'm kind of expecting for that guy. I don't know if he's going to be the sidekick moving forward. I think if I were to do it, I'd kill Wong and introduce Clea to replace that kind of like companion to Strange, where she's friend and lover and fighter with him. Guys.
And I just don't think that's going to happen because Wong is in Shang-Chi, and I think he's going to be part of that movie as well. Somebody is going to die for sure. You know what I mean? We see a crow, and traditionally in cultures, and seeing a crow is like a bad omen. Like in The Sopranos, when we saw the initiation of Christopher, for those who watch The Sopranos, he sees a crow in the window, and then, later in the series, Tony, basically murders him when he chokes him out, and doesn't let him breathe. So we see the crow in these trailers, and what does that mean? It says Doom is coming. So Doom, like, okay, well, there's a character Doom, right? So, like, is just imminent Doom or the character Doom coming? My top pick for the Illuminati, Mr. Fantastic Four in there. So that's part of that. So, you know what I mean? Like, anything can go here.
Yeah. Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished. The greatest threat is you. Then Doctor Strange potentially visits Evil Strange. And, like, some of these, I guess, events have to unfold with America Chavez by his side so he can travel in and out. Strange talking to Wanda. The first trailer, it's a field of flowers and everything's bright and
yeah, like beautiful. I'm not sure if it's cherry blossoms or what. It's just beautiful, like floral trees. Yeah,
right. And he's talking to her, and maybe she's putting up an illusion, because in the trailers that we see later on, it's like the same kind of positioning, the same like kind of style of branches of that tree, except there's no life on that tree, no foliage. It's a little bit flipped in terms of the power, where Strange is asking for her help in that first scene, and then the second scene, it's almost like Wanda is trying to explain her way, why she's behaving the way she is, or why she's pursuing the path that she's currently on, right? Like it seems like it seems very flipped. So again, another kind of like moment in that trailer that definitely raised some suspicion.
And I think that's definitely where it is. It's a facade, you know, it's a mask, it's a mirror, because that's how she presented Westview. You know, from the Wanda and Vision show, is that she had this whole thing elaborately made up in her mind, and she was using the red magic to do all of this. And so, you know, the chaos magic, that's what it is. It took me a second. It's a lot of you get to do this, but I don't get to do that. And so it's like putting up this facade because, you know, she's like, I was expecting to see you, and he's like, I don't really care about that. You know what I mean? It was just like it was a small thing. We got bigger things going on here.
And you have a couple characters going into this movie that are rumored to have some kind of role, like let's say the White Vision.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we brought that character up. He kind of leaves, so it's
no, yeah, he takes off at the end of their show.
Yeah, so who knows how he tries to help out in this one, but I do expect him to play a role. Quicksilver's another one.
Mm-hmm, that would be
brother.
Good. The original, yeah.
Yeah, no Ralph Boner. Hopefully there's something that's more substantial where it's like it's been some years since Age of Ultron, and like what a time to like walk down that specific memory. And Loki with the Kang and the multiverse kind of thing. Maybe Loki kind of comes in with Sylvie, or who knows what the fuck. Maybe Sylvie is a Illuminati member or some shit, but I'm interested.
There's so many variants.
Yeah, I'm interested. Hopefully Loki gets a part in this. I imagine Deadpool and Cable get introduced. If there's a lot of cameos, then what better time to bring in a couple of the characters that existed before the deal. And, you know, introduce them and incorporate them into these stories individually and in the larger sense, like an Avengers movie or other ensembles.
I feel like it would be silly not to incorporate that dynamic. Worked really well when they had the extra credit scene in one of the movies, and with everything that happened in Loki and the time variant authorities and how everything was breaking apart, and then how you see the scenes of Doctor Strange and then Wanda and America Chavez in the back behind him. It kind of just presents itself to like they're in that space where the multiverse is, you know, coming apart.
I also expect Monica Rambeau, since the relationship they try to build up in WandaVision, maybe she's the one that's fighting her in that Illuminati kind of
that's
building
right.
or whatever, where they're questioning Strange.
Yeah, you know what? You do make a good point, because it's a very cosmic glowing thing. It doesn't look like Captain Marvel, but you know what? You're also bringing up that in the Illuminati's fortress, or whatever you want to call it, it looks like Rachel McAdams' character is in like a futuristic jumpsuit, like working for them or something. That's how I feel, like, because Strange wakes up in like a similar like outfit as when he, you know, in his dream where he's handcuffed. And then, you know, they're walking him through into their courtroom or whatever you want to call it to be judged. And then, you know, and like think the last like 30-second teaser, she's behind him in that gray outfit with America Chavez, and he's gonna fight Mordo or whatever. But like she's there working with him because it looks all like futuristic, almost like all that glass, like the Illuminati area. So I think that variant or whatever, that timeline, she's there working with the Illuminati.
Yeah, I think they all slip into that dimension or that specific universe, and then they get imprisoned immediately. And and in breaking out, they get to see the true bloodlust that Wanda has been holding on to. With the main villain of the movie, I would imagine it's Scarlet Witch, considering what we see her do with the that Sentry bot. She kind of causes that head to explode.
Yeah.
Strange throws her in the mirror dimension, so she's kind of like isolated. So maybe it's Wanda and she's like the Darth Vader, and there's a Mephisto Palpatine kind of thing figure kind of looming over her that's helping pull these strings,
whispering in her ear.
Right.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about that, and we watched that a couple of times with that whole breaking thing around her. Yeah, that is the mirror dimension, and I guess that's the only way. I mean, to trap somebody or something so powerful, because they said that the chaos magic is, you know, like the worst type of magic to use. So they said it's stronger than Sorcerer Supreme, which is, I guess, not Doctor Strange right now. It's Wong or one of them. So I don't know if they've got to combine their powers together to figure that out, or just keep her there and then another Scarlet Witch from a different timeline help take her out.
Right, because she's looking for her kids. There's some things we don't mention because it's like, you see it, you know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
You know what her
saw
motives
WandaVision.
are. There's
Yeah.
no alternative motives here with her.
Yeah.
She's gonna fake the funk with Doctor Strange, but her thing was at the end of the show, she was with the Darkhold. She's looking for her kids. We hear those voices. You know what I mean? In one of the scenes, she's fighting with Wong. Is this our Wanda? Is this a different Wanda? Knowing that one of her variants or a lot of her variants are gonna go bad, and so she's here to help. Basically kick her own butt. So she's there fighting with Wong.
But we'll move on to Miss Marvel. That's the second trailer we're going to talk about. Just with Miss Marvel, it seems like the style is very kid friendly, very like hyper on the graphics.
Yeah,
right?
definitely like targeted to like a kid show with a pop art, short attention span, and they even bring that to light so many times, like Kamala snapping at her, and like her going off into like literally the trailer opens in a dream bubble, so a comic dream bubble. So it's very kid friendly, this series.
You're a superhero. Being born in an age of heroes and like looking up to them, like that's an interesting idea. It's weird. We talk about we want original characters, and here is kind of an original character where she's not like Captain Marvel mantle is being passed down to her. It's like this writer who's self-inserted
and it's sort of based on your life, yes? Her backstory.
I had created a character that I could identify with. She didn't look like the other girls in her class. She began to become fascinated with bacon. So clearly this girl was different, but she did have an outlet.
And writes fan fiction about her favorite superhero.
All right, so y'all just seen that corny ass shit.
Put her nationality and put her fandom for superheroes on display on this character, as opposed to doing something like the OGs did, where
something different,
right? Like it was the Jewish guys that came up with the blonde-haired and blue-eyed Captain America fighting Hitler, and it's characters that you come up with that are outside of yourself, and that fill up this world. And those are probably one of the more interesting ones.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, where it's like you said, in the age of superheroes, you want to be a superhero. Miss Marvel, another Marvel, and like
Monica Marvel.
Yeah, it's like every...
we were talking about Blue Marvel and the Marvel, so that's gonna be like 4 Marvels.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of Marvels.
Bro, I don't even like Captain Marvel.
Nobody likes Captain
Marvel.
Fuck? Gosh, Captain Marvel, terrible. But you know what I mean.
Like, we'll give them more Marvels, more Thors, like
shove
more
it down their
Spider-Man.
throat.
We'll just give them more shit.
We love Spider-Man. There's nothing wrong with that one, but
yeah, but like it's just like all right.
New properties.
All
yeah,
right.
I get you. I mean, or the freaking X-Men. Come on, just give me a tease of Dr. X. Come on, give me some X-Men. Sorry, okay, back to Miss Marvel. It's just like very like kiddish. I feels cosmic when she puts on like, her powers or whatever. Like, okay, we get it. Like, you're a Marvel. You're gonna draw your energy, your powers from cosmic. That's why you're kind of like the bluish color. In the trailer, we see her finding the bracelets and stuff, and it looks like she's at home in like her attic or something. Is this a family heirloom that you guys are like protecting, like the Black Panther mantle, or like, you know what I mean? Is it passed down? Like, what I want, like, I'm interested to see it, because I have no idea what this character is about, other than she's kind of a little girl who's kind of doing too much because she's a teenager and has all these emotions.
I want to see her do some fun shit, but at the same time, like I said, it's just tough. She stretches, she has like these bracelets that seem to give or help her harness the power at the very least. I don't know if that's the source of it. There's no Inhuman connection. I don't care about it being adapted properly. Taking away the Inhuman connection, and I think coming up with a Jinn kind of origin, that's kind of interesting. Jinn are kind of like trickster demons. They're in that same kind of,
Genie,
interdimensional kind of fucking entities that lurk around.
I just hope it's a good show. Like, with a lot of these Marvel shows, they can have been lackluster. Moon Knight has been pretty good so far, so again, more kid friendly, so I don't know if what it's gonna do, but my only other gripe is that we don't really get to see a bad guy in this. It's kind of like, oh, it's the government that's the bad guy.
It could be the Jinn. I don't know.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I know
the
I
smoke,
know
the 4 figures that appeared like during that smoke, I think.
I know that's what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, we see the government, we see suits come up on the stairs, and then we see like people shooting at her when she does the force field. So yeah, it could definitely be the Jinn, but it's like, okay, well, in this first trailer, there's no like clear, concise bad guy. So what is it? The government? Like, is it just these people after you because you took away like this, this cosmic power, and now, they're after you. So that was my thing on that part.
Who knows how everything's gonna go down. I'm kind of bummed that the character kind of feels similar to the Kate Bishop, where she's kind of awkward. She's optimistic about some of her abilities, and she's defiant to those who kind of know her best and who are around her. Like, not that she has a hero to look up to, but it seems like, you gotta, if you're writing these characters, you gotta make them stand out a little bit more. It's not enough for me for you to change the fucking skin tone, and change, like, let's say the fucking religion. I'm sorry, dude.
Or gender. Like, I don't care if it's male or female.
You gotta work harder than that.
I just want a good character. I just want a good show or a movie, whether, whatever that may be. It's just kind of like, we'll see.
Yeah, you can't just be a bunch of slapdicks and hope like, it's like with Miles Morales, just put a fucking new coat of paint on the character and let's just go, like, and give him a different, like, electric ability. It's like, all right, dude, like,
Shocky Spider-Man. Shock.
Static Shock.
Static Shock, exactly.
But that's this specific trailer. It's not a lot of high hopes, not a lot of intrigue. I'm
very lackluster.
I'm not rooting for them to fail, but like, it definitely seems like they're gonna have a lot of swing and misses in this current phase.
Yeah, this phase is kind of like questionable, and we'll see how it goes, because with the pandemic and everything, we got pushed back so much already, and we're just kind of like, all right, here we go. Is that all you have to say for this one?
Yeah, that's all we have for Miss Marvel. So going into Thor 4, the latest trailer that was released by them.
Thor Love and Thunder, by the way. I love it because, the song choice is Guns N' Roses. So I'm already super hyped about this, Initially going in, I was just like, really? Like, we're going to have Lady Thor? Like, I'm kind of like mad about Natalie Portman. Like, she's coming back, cool, whatever. So I was just not super excited, but leading off with that song, I feel like it's great. We see, like, the montage through his childhood, teenage years, and then adulthood, with the different variations of Thor, like little Thor, teenage Thor, and then the first Thor that we ever saw. I thought that was cool. And then, but we hear him like in this hippie talk, kind of like peace and love, and I want to live in the moment, and my superhero days are over, and then him talking about finding himself, and then the training montage, because, we left off the Avengers with Fat Thor, so we're seeing him doing all that training and stuff. So I really liked all of that.
Yeah, the Thor being on another journey of self-discovery is starting to get a little played out, especially with the first one where you take away his hammer. And in Ragnarok, like, both his parents are dead. Now Infinity War, Loki's dead. Okay, everybody's been taken away, dude. He went through his own... He's one of the few characters that had his own decent fucking arc in the Infinity War and Endgame, right? Compared to, like, Hulk. He had an interesting one.
Yeah.
So to take him down this path again... is kind of like, well, what the fuck are we doing here, bro? Why aren't we just, why wasn't he fucking King Thor on Earth or any of this shit?
We never get to see King Thor.
Yeah, why are you going into Thor 4 potentially starting a whole new arc with Lady Thor? It just makes no fucking sense. But
much sense.
The rocker outfit he has, like, towards the split of the Guardians of the Galaxy, like, he reveals that that 80s Thor look. It's interesting because in another scene with the Guardians, he has like his traditional outfit and he's walking away with them, almost like if it's implying the chemistry's not there between Thor and the Guardians. Maybe something's off, maybe like...
And that's where we see, like, in the scenes, like, he doesn't fight. He's just kind of standing there, and, like, he just kind of walks away, like you say, like, they're just not meshing well, and he's planting, what's the name of
Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker. I don't know why I had Mjolnir in my head. So he's planting Stormbreaker in, like, some dirt and walking away from it and saying, like, my heroing days are over. He doesn't want to fight anymore, because he's trained for battle his whole life. So what is he going to do? Like you said, another self-discovery. We have
the shot of them leaving the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then you have Thor and Korg. Mm-hmm. And, like, there's potentially space, like on the left side of the screen for a third member. Could you do, like, a Beta Ray Bill, or is it Hercules? Like, that's why Thor has to go down to Zeus's area, right, to go take Hercules back and see what kind of world they're living in. It's just interesting that, potentially there's something that maybe there's not. It's just me being hopeful that Beta Ray Bill, and I think that idea would be a lot a lot more interesting with Thor truly defending his universe and finding out there's others that are similar to him and having like a Thor kind of core like kind of situation going on. It'd be fun, but who knows? You know, it's Lady Thor right now, and it's main Thor, and you see obviously Stormbreaker navigating that ship with the Bifrost coming out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to talk about. I think that's he's just saying he's done, and he's over there just exploring the universe basically, and he's on the Stormbreaker boat, and I think he happens to upon Zeus, and maybe that's where he bumps into other people or gets reintroduced to the Guardians, because we see
Russell
him.
Crowe Zeus too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to figure out who it was. I didn't know it was Russell Crowe. I feel like he'd be okay, Zeus.
A little out of fucking shape.
I mean, pays a little, but whatever. I feel like he happens upon it, and like, you know, like the whole scene where you're saying that he walks away from the Guardians and he comes back, and maybe that's where he meets up with them again, and he's kind of like, well, this is how I am now, and that's where we get the whole scene with him, you know, throwing off the blanket and him with the blue people behind him.
I don't know what they're going to do with this. You know, obviously the Thor meeting Lady Thor, that outfit's a little different than the other ones. He's got like his old shit, then he's got the 80s rock thing, and then he's got like the new blue suit fucking look. So this look where he actually meets Lady Thor, it seems like it's a mix of the old suit but with like a bit of fur connecting the metal plating to the cape. You know, who knows if this is like middle of the movie or how the fuck this all plays out, but it's interesting that throughout this movie that there's going to be a lot of, I guess, Thor adventure, you know, and maybe it's going to be Thor and Korg and figuring out what's out there in the cosmos after Thanos, after refusing to be king and stuff. So
Space road trip.
Yeah, so who knows what the fuck? No Gore, the God Butcher, played by Christian Bale in this.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping to see it. I know we've seen like pictures of it and stuff, but I kind of want to see like Christian Bale as this bad villain.
I want to see what he brings to the universe. He's obviously a good actor, so
wonderful.
He's gonna continue this streak of good villains with Cate Blanchett.
Cate Blanchett.
Yeah, so I'm sure that streak is going to continue. I'm sure there's going to be more meta Thor plays in this movie, but who knows? You know, I'm kind of mixed on this one where, like, I'm excited to see Thor on adventures again, but what I'm not excited is, like, for potentially more bait and switch where they show me, like, here's this lead character, and then they kind of give me this other female character, and they, you know, they give me more of this.
You mean like Hawkeye?
Right.
They're
like,
going to Hawkeye you?
There's a couple of movies, so... Yeah, you just don't want to fall into that kind of beat, you know, and
I'd be really upset if that ended.
Right. I'm personally like I don't give a fuck about King Valkyrie if that's where you want to go by whatever like political annoyances she's having by being like, you know,
the leader.
A member of Earth and representing the country like that. Like I don't give a fuck about that storyline. Like like again, same thing with the Lady Thor, like the whole cancer shit. Like I'll show you. I got comics of Lady Thor. Like I've given this shit a shot. I ain't just gonna shit on it, but it's just like it's not interesting. Like, you know, you want to create original characters, but if you run into the problem where you can't introduce the X-Men and you're not doing Jessica Jones, you're not doing Black Cat, you're not doing Death, you're gonna run into shit like this where you're gonna go, all right, I guess we're gonna give, you know, some of these newer female heroes a chance, like Lady Thor, like Miss Marvel, you know.
I wish they did the X-Men or Black Cat. Anything, really. But here we are getting Natalie Portman as Lady Thor, which I'm not excited about, and I hope it's like at the very end of the movie.
Hasn't even been in the front in the universe since 2013.
Yeah, because she didn't want anything to do with it, and then all of a sudden Marvel's hot and she wants back in. Because like, really, what has Natalie Portman done in the last 5 years? I can't tell you.
Annihilation was cool, but like
I did like that movie,
right? Like she's like far from like the Black Swan kind of era
relevant.
It gets hard to stay on top of it. You know, I think she's good in a lot of those movies that we watch her in. But I'm also not that big of a fan to have her come in like that in the universe and to become one of the more probably leading characters moving forward.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm like, I could do without.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people call this thing the MCU. Like, I want to see more before I start, you know, ragging on it like that. But with the way things are going, they're not proving those people wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm all for stronger female heroes. Hopefully, like, to get the X-Men up.
Yes,
so,
X-Men.
So we can have the Jean Greys and the Storms, you know, and Jubilees. Like, there's a lot of good female characters just in the X-Men, and start that shit up and run some of those characters in the Disney Plus.
I'm waiting. I've been patiently waiting. Now I'm just gonna be pissed off and waiting because X-Men are my favorite. You'll hear me say it again and again. They deserve to be in the MCU. They deserve it, and not just Dr. X. But we'll see.
That concludes our Marvel trailer roundup.
And we are the Phronesis Project, and thanks for listening.